Although this book is over 10 years old, in my opinion, it has the best directions on how to use a pressure canner step by step. You do not have to count on your memory on how to do that. You could print these pages off and keep them as the reference by your stove, but it gives you all the information that you need, including let your jars sit in the canner for 10 minutes to adjust to the lower temperature in the room. Once you've vented for 10 minutes, process them for the recommended amount of time and approved recipe. You don't just whip that canner open and whip those jars out. And I'm gonna have to use some rogue squash. It is harvest season for many of the things we grow. And it tells you to remove your jars from the canner without tilting them. You may have some water on top of that lid. There is no reason to tilt that jar with your jar lifter to let that run out. If it bothers you that it's there, when you have set them out, and we're gonna talk about where do you put your jars and why. You can just use a paper towel to wick that boiling hot water that's on the top. So it actually tells you, do not tighten your screw bands or if they have loosened during the process. It is normal after coming out of the pressure canner for your rings to be loose. Don't touch them, don't play with them, let them be. After 24 hours, you're gonna check your lids for a seal. What you want to do is put your jars in a draft-free space, and I'm gonna show you where I put mine. So this is my setup on where to bring my jars after I take them out of the canner. Vern has made these little cork things. I have a bunch of them. I have a chopping block that I'll use, and this is the area you're going to put your jars after processing. This is an area that's not going to cause my jars to get thermal shock because they're going on a cork surface. I choose to throw a towel over mine. I then put wax paper over it so when they're siphoning or if I had a jar break in that canner, gooky stuff is not running between there. I really don't want a towel for my canning that looks like, you know, it was at a murder scene. So that's simply how I choose to do it. So as long as you know where you're putting your jars when you take them out of the canner, you're ready to take them out. You just want these in a draft-free area. We have a door nearby. Vern knows not to slam the door. And these will sit here for 24 hours. Now let's say that I had some siphoning, which can happen. It can happen with beef broth. As it's pushing the air out of that jar, you could have a little bit of redness from the tomato sauce in your canner. That's nothing to be alarmed with. This is sealed, and this is one of my examples from 2015. As long as this lid holds and this stays in a dark pantry, except for right now, it's not going to lose its beautiful color and nutrients. So even if there was siphoning and there's some tomato sauce on the outside, I'm not addressing that tomorrow when I clean those jars. If you have water that is hard, you might get a lot of calcium on the outside. When you wash these tomorrow, dampen a paper towel with vinegar and it'll come right off for you. That's dust, okay? Dust happens. So just make sure when you set up for your canning session, where are you putting your jars? And do not shove them all real close together. You want air to go between them. So on this small one, I can put 4 and I can put 6 on this bigger one. So just know where you're going to put those jars when you take them out, where they will literally not be bothered for 24 hours. Then after 24 hours, you'll take your rings off and then you'll wash your jars and put them in your pantry. It's not hard. Just know where your food, your jars of food are going after being processed, whether it was water bath or it was pressure canning. It ain't hard, it's just canning. Takes a little organization.